Like I said, if you need headphones, I can give them to you.
Okay.
All right, we're doing this clown show. We just talked about this dingbat this past. What was that? Yesterday, I put that up. It was supposed to go up on Thursday, but I was busy with some other stuff. So I apologize to those who wanted it earlier. But rest assured, there will be another upload around. I want to say maybe Friday again or Thursday, dealing with a common trope people like to claim about chicks being out of some guy's league, and how I'm gonna basically tear that a new one and prove that it's just a stupid thing that people say to have fun. Yeah, it was hot outside. Went to the market of about an hour ago. Got some stuff. It was burning up. I gotta say the biggest issue for me with that mask is that it's not even just everyone looking like we're living in a virtual resurgence of the plague. It's the fact that I'll put it on and it'll fog up my glasses, and then if you take your glasses off, you can't see anything. So it's just damned if you do, damned if you don't. But yeah, based on the attendance, I'll probably this probably would be maybe an hour, hour and a half. Also, I'm getting really sick of these spam bots on YouTube. You got this one bot called Logan that keeps asking, "Wanna be friends?" I'm just getting really sick of it because over and over they post the same message, video after video. "Wanna be friends?" And I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but I don't friend robots. So that automated thing can go be friends with itself. I'm not in the mood. Every video, "Wanna be friends?" Shut up. And it's like no matter how much you ignore, it just keeps coming back. Tim is another bot account on every single video. Yeah, I don't know where the hell those things are coming from because I've seen them on political videos. I've seen them on videos about people playing games, and they always say the same thing. "You did a good job. Thanks, man. This is excellent entertainment. I love it." It's like, who are you? Somebody must have spent $1 million to just have a bot annoy the whole website. They're trying to kill YouTube. Mm. No, these bots are annoying. Oh yeah, Ruben, let me tell you the way this is gonna go. So I've got the Ford script, I got the interview that I'm gonna use for some of it, and I've got basically the formatting for any of the documentaries on the presidents after Hoover. All of them are going to be at least 3 parts long, where the first part is about their life before they took over. The second part is about their presidency, and the third part is about their post presidency. And in more extreme cases, you'll get probably one video about their first term and another one about their second term, because that's how I'm gonna do the Obama one. I decided there's too much stuff to stick in one video, and I don't have enough file space on this computer to put up a 6 hour video. So I'll split it in half. It will be the first term for one video and the second term for the other. How did we downgrade from Hatsune Miku and Kazuna AI? Why won't they reach out to us instead? I don't even know what these. I'm tired of these bots. That's all I can say. I'm sick of them. Every video I go to, "Wanna be friends? Good video. I loved it. This video was great." There actually is a YouTube channel I was watching about maybe 2 weeks ago, and the person who made the video got one of those bots on there, and they didn't know it was a bot, so they were like, "Go away," because they thought it was a regular person. I thought that was funny. Like we're so used to seeing them at this point but there are still people who actually think they can be reasoned with, like they're not AI. It's really comedic. Uh, hey Ruben, did you see the video, the one on the dumb broad that's BA? Turn that one off. She really did piss me off because I've tried to really I guess work with these people. Like, oh, if you need more time, I'll give it to you. And to have one of them say, "I will stick with this no matter what happens," and then like 2 weeks later, it's excessively aggravating to say the least. Oh, and I'm also going to do another video on Pac-Man because I don't know if you saw his channel, Ruben, but he put up a video. I think it was yesterday. Let me see, where he basically said that we should stop watching him if we don't agree with his views, and that people are trying to make him kowtow to them, referring to his viewers. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, it's like every single commentator, whether it's Dor or Kalinsky or whoever the hell that's on the left, I always have something I don't agree with them with. With Jimmy, for example, I didn't agree with him on what he did after the older Bush died, where he made a video going, "Yeah, he was such a bad president," because I watch his stuff regularly, and I know what people he actually brings up as being so horrible and having long-term damage. But even with having as big of a difference on it as I did, I never thought, oh, I'm just gonna stop watching him because he made this video that is just him trying to basically capitalize on someone's death. So, David is just being, I guess, not receptive to criticism, because that's what happens when you're a political commentator. You have people who agree with you on one thing and others that don't on something else. And if they just keep disagreeing with you, they'll cut you off. Like that one guy did when I said I like Johnson, he proceeded to write, was it 17 comments? So I'll be talking about him again this week, unfortunately. I know Ruben's getting really sick of these Pac-Man videos. He wishes I would just ignore him, but he is a significant left-wing commentator that has a channel that's like, I don't even know, 80 times the size of mine. Damn. What up, guys? How was the week? Well, I was really disappointed that 38 underperformed, because I was hoping it would get 100 views like the other one did, but I guess I'm not good enough for that. That just goes with my narrative that hard work doesn't matter. People always say, if you put time and effort in your videos, people will watch them. No, they don't. You write out a script, you grab up a bunch of clips, and then you still get what, like 20, 30 views. So that's the most comedic part of that. It's not to say that hard work never has any factor in anything. It's just it's not as important as people like to make it seem. Unfortunately, I know why people like to say that. Oh, if I just work hard enough, it'll happen. Nope. Oh, Envoy, you might get a kick out of this. I'm gonna do a video this week uh, about that stupid thing people like to say. What was it? What was it? She's out of your league, where you have supposedly straight men telling another man that some broad is out of his league because he thinks that the woman looks better, which he's supposed to if he's a man. That's straight. Megumi decided to make his grand return. I'm wondering if Megumi liked that video. I should have called it Dingbats Are Us, because I've had a plethora of just stupid broads over the last couple of months. But that's the one legacy that chick will have, is she will be the last one that got to make a comeback, because I've seen a couple of them where if after they've cut you off, they try to speak to you again. And from now on, whenever one of them cuts me off, and if they try to come back again, I'm not going to make any attempt to continue speaking to them, and I'm not going to reach out to them. That's it, because she blew that up spectacularly. I mean, damn, who gives somebody their number the day before they decide to stop speaking to them? Nobody thinks that's weird. That's not psychotic behavior. I remember this one guy was like, "Don't do a video on her; it's gonna hurt her feelings." It's like, man, that broad actually admitted to me in a VC we had on Discord that she was still subscribed to my channel, but that she was purposely ignoring my content. And I was just thinking to myself, it's like, wow, you talk to these people so that they'll like the creator and thereby watch the person's content. And then by speaking to them, they basically have decided we're going to pretend you don't exist for forever. Apparently, I'm just saying that I remembered her saying that. So basically, I know for a fact she hasn't seen the stuff, which is fine because it's not made for them to see. It's made to make the point of them acting like idiots. If a woman cuts you off, act like you got amnesia. I don't know who you are. Sorry. Well, she decided to end it, and then I just sent her a friend request out of the blue a few months later, and she accepted it and was trying to speak to me, and was doing her apology tour. I'm so sorry for doing this, and blah, 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 blah. And then a month later, you go right back to doing the exact same thing, and you see message after message. You were so understanding. You treated me so well, and then you're like, what the? Oh my god! Treat her like the Rona and distance yourself. Well, we actually had a joke, me and this guy on Discord, that there's going to be a new, because I hate that website so much. There's going to be a new disease from it. So we have COVID-19. We're going to call it Disco 20. So every time somebody acts stupid on Discord, they have Disco 20. That new virus that's making everyone act like an idiot on that website. Man, that is the worst site out of all of them. Out of all the social media websites, it's the worst one. I would rather go back on Twitter because at least on there you don't have stupid servers that people make and then want to ban someone for no reason, or try to make fake accounts to follow someone into it's just weird. Okay, you know how some women/people are in general. If they think they can just pick you up and drop you down like a coat without a good reason, they don't think much about you to begin with. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just hate the fact that she actually got to come back and then screw up again and do even more damage. And gonna call me her friend, talking about as your friend, I would say. It's like, oh, I at no point ever said you were my friend. Because I no friend of mine is gonna ignore me for a whole week to get me to unfriend them on the website. No one that's your friend does that to you. But they have to convince themselves that you're friends with them so that the little stupid stuff they do has a more sentimental value, and it's just a hoe trying to get rid of some guy that wanted to do stuff for her that she didn't reciprocate. Coincidental enough, a couple days ago, I received a message from this chick I once had feelings for when we used to interact with each other and was really close. This was back in 2017. Oh, you mean the worst year ever? Let me see. I've had women do that in the past, and I've learned never give yourself too much to one person. I'm not saying you should be mean, but you. Oh, here we go with that phrase again. You know what? I'm gonna have to make this like a series where we just take different stuff that people say that means nothing, and then like destroy it in the video. Like we're gonna do one first on "She's out of your league," that dumb claim, and then we're gonna do one on "You should work on yourself" is what it should be called. Then we're going to do one on your lack of confidence, and then there's going to be another one on, factor X, and then we're going to do one on the imaginary. You remember the what's the word for it? The turnover romance year, where everything just magically is supposed to get better for you according to these people who are quote unquote older and wiser, but they're not wise enough to actually be like fortune teller Baba and be able to look into a crystal ball and tell you when this crap is supposed to happen. Well, the truth is, being attractive in this world is basically a superpower for men and women. The things you can get away with. Yeah, but I've never it's so hard for me to think of instances where a guy was able to coast off of his appearance. Like the only time I can really think of that was that one. You remember that one thug that was in jail that all those chicks were all horny over his picture. I don't know if you remember from like 5 years ago when he got out and now he's a model. And they always talk about you need to have money. It's like this dude was in jail. He didn't have a dollar in his pocket. And he had all these broads going But you want me to believe that actually that all this other stuff actually matters. My bad. What I mean is you shouldn't be waiting hand and foot for a woman who doesn't care about you. You should keep yourself busy and not kiss the. I do keep myself busy. You see all this damn content I make. Like I hope that was a general term and not directed specifically at me. I'm always doing other stuff besides talking to broads. Besides, I'm basically I've been retired for 3 years. The only time I talk to one of them is if they come on my stuff. I got a worse one for you. Some dudes did a Tinder experiment, had an attractive guy admit to still reached out and made excuses for. Oh my god, I don't even want to repeat that. I hope that's like a sick joke you're telling. I really hope that's not true. Then again, I'm not too surprised because when I was doing the worst mothers ever, that or worst mothers of the decade video, I didn't mention the Lost Prophets singer, or rather, I think I did. I mentioned the chicks that were with him, but they didn't tell us who the chicks were. Where one of them was going to have his kids so they could molest it together, and how it was so gross because we keep getting told how mothers care so much more about their children than fathers, and it's completely incorrect. And people always try to pretend that being in a relationship somehow makes you a good person or somebody that's actually like they always try to use people being single as against them, like, oh, you're single because you're so disgusting that no woman would ever want to be around you. Well, I wouldn't want a chick that wants to molest her kid around me. So good. You could take her and throw her in the trash for all I care. Good riddance. It made waves on Reddit and some forums that has long since been nuked from the internet. Oh, I wanted to see that, or at least I wanted to read more up about it. Not surprising in the slightest. It's a twisted reality. There was a guy who actually put up a stream yesterday. It might have been yesterday, the day before, but it was this week. And he said something that actually kind of made me want to vomit. And he was like, "A real man doesn't let a chick get beat up by some guy. A real man is going to get involved. Only a punk is going to keep on walking." I was thinking to myself, there is no way in hell that if I saw some broad getting assaulted and I don't know the reason for it and I don't know who this person is, I'm going to jump in because I'm trying to protect myself. Like, why would I bring on the problems of some chick I don't even know to look heroic for like 8 seconds before I get beat up as well? Like, he was really saying you need to stick your neck out for some broad you don't even know. Look, I'll grant cases where it's like you're someone's mother, their sister, their girlfriend, whatever the hell, but a random chick that for all you know could be getting beat up because she started the altercation. If I see that, I'm running. I don't care. I'm talking about a punk. I'm trying to stay alive. That's what but that's the weird stuff that people say on this website. You think a broad like you think if I'm getting beat up, some broad is gonna go, oh man, we need to call the cops and help, and not even try to physically intervene, but intervene in the sense of trying to prevent it in some other capacity. They wouldn't do anything. They would keep on walking. And I really can't say I blame them because if it's not concerning you, why do you have to die? They want you to cater to. Well, that wasn't directed at me specifically. It was just a stream I was watching that was supposed to be about another topic, and it got drafted into that. But when I heard that, I was pretty disturbed because the guy was basically saying, as long as it's got a vagina, you need to protect it, no matter if you don't know it, no matter if it started it. And I don't agree with that at all. Remember, the only person who's going to protect you at the end of the day, that's not aside from maybe your parents, is yourself. They want men to be chivalrous and righteous, but yet so many men get talked down to and are underappreciated. Well, you saw that trash that broad was writing to me. You were so understanding, and you treated me so nice, and then she still ignored me again. Like not even 2 months later. And then people wonder why I don't like talking to chicks because they do stuff like that. Too much bipolar behavior. I'm tired of that. This is very common in black households, especially. You need to man up, yet your mom, girlfriend will talk down to you, yet still need you. I mean, I had someone who told me to lift something that was very, very heavy, and it was in a box. And the point of putting stuff in boxes is to protect whatever is inside, so that if it's dropped against the ground, it's going to be fine. And they got upset because as I'm lifting this very heavy thing, I put it down, and they're like, "You should put it down gently." And I said, "Why don't you pick this damn thing up? If it's, if you have a real issue with the way I'm lifting it, then you do it." And that's not me trying to, I guess, be mean. It's just really frustrating that you have these people attempting to criticize you for doing something for them, but then they can't do it them damn selves. Ain't that the truth? It happens a lot, and it's sad. The dysfunction in our community sometimes is ridiculous. Like that one person of in our community that told me that I would that told a relative of mine that I was going to hell because I used the term churchcraft. That was really crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm going to hell for saying a term you don't agree with. Not the drug dealers, child molesters, rapists, terrorists, serial killers. Me, they all get to go to heaven, but I got to go to the fire and brimstone for saying a term you don't like. That's pretty insane in my opinion. But hey, whatever. I no, I can see why I got disenfranchised with religion a few years ago. It makes a lot of sense. There's the people that are in it say the stupidest stuff. Start kicking people out of the. The term on Twitter this week. The term "new blacks" was trending, and I was really confused by that because I've never heard that term before. And someone actually, it's supposed to apparently mean, I guess, African Americans under, like in the millennial age bracket and whatnot. And somebody wrote that they act like they just got their skin color yesterday. Like they go to a shop and they paint them. These are the new black. It's like oh my god, they can't just say millennials. They can't just say Generation Z. They're all right, whatever. I just thought that was fun, like that line that person wrote. Oh, I got an update. I forgot to mention this. So we talk about the dingbat with the baby, and what ended up happening was that over the course of last week, like between this stream and the one from last week, the guy was supposed to be going to some place that's far away, or that you need you need a taxi to get back. He did because the car was impounded, or the car wasn't available for him. And the taxi to get back, because taxis they do cost 20 some, but they're not, generally speaking, they're not. Um, I mean, people, that's not that much of a price if you're only going once a year. So the taxi he was supposed to be using, he only needed 25 bucks for, which again is not that much if you're using it once a year. And he didn't even have that. And apparently he was embarrassed by it. And I'm just thinking to myself, it's really sad that uh, I do talk about how stupid people are when they say that, oh, chicks just want men with cash, because I cite him as an example. But it's really, this is what I was talking about when I said there is no standard for who gets to have kids. There's no financial standard. There's no uh, foresight, or just, there's like nothing. A guy who didn't even have, what was it, two pairs of $10 and a $5 bill in his pocket gets to be a parent because some broad decided to play spread them on the bed. I'm not even trying to make him look bad, because I get where people, I'm just saying it's really stupid that people still sit here talking about money like it matters, and then people like that are in a relationship year after year where both they and their significant others spend like crazy, and then go, I can't believe I don't own anything. It's like, yeah, ding that, because you used all of it to, like, whatever. Just that I thought that was ironic, or I thought that was something that might interest the audience, because it's on that same topic of being told about you how you need resources, and then people who actually got what you wanted don't have resources and they still get it anyway. Don't let some nasty broad who will let anyone hit give you the impression generally operate that way. No chick around my way would mess with a guy I can't afford. Uh, well, again, my point is that people keep using these different terms and ideas for why someone's not with. Oh, yeah, Megumi wrote it. There is no guarantee or sure way to acquire a chick or have kids. Well, that's my point. That they try to pretend like if you just have six figures or five figures, you'll be able to get with the woman. It's like, no, you'll be able to get with a bunch of gold diggers, and like that's not true because we know men who are poor are in relationships. So like, how do you explain that? Pixie dust? Do they prey upon a star? Hey, this they got they asked their Fairly Odd parents to poop from a girlfriend. Like I don't get it. Oh, I do get it. It's just a dumb thing that people say that's not backed by reality. You can only purchase those broads, and they're there momentarily. Now, this relationship's been going on for like I think 6 years. Like, there's been a whole Senate term of these two together, and it's the most dysfunctional, low income, argumentative. Like, I don't get how that lasts. Oh, I do get how it lasts because they hit the sheets every few days. That's how that works. I actually had someone who was trying to encourage me to, and you'll have to excuse me for the nipple view, but I had someone who was trying to encourage me to, I guess, make an approach toward one of the VAs, and I was like, I did that 5 years ago before any of the content actually came out, and I have always regretted it, and I will never do it again. The only way that would ever start up is if one of them approached me, and even then, I'd be kind of reluctant depending on who it is. But I was saying to them, there's no way I would approach because it never works. It's been proven not to work. Because I mentioned how the only chick I ever dated was one that approached me. So why would I do something that has been proven to never work for me anyway? That's also possibly going to imperil a project that I'm trying to do. Like I just didn't see where there was any benefit to making any attempt toward I guess conveying interest in one. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But that's why I said people go off of feelings versus the reality of what could happen if it doesn't go the way you want, where there are long term ramifications for it. Like I always remember the first chick I ever approached, and I mentioned this story before. I knew for 5 years, and we were supposedly friends. And after I approached, all they would do is talk trash about me, and it completely ruined the friendship was over. That thing finished. But that was the ramification of approaching. I almost I part of me regrets even bothering because it's like, what did that accomplish other than destroying what was a decent years long interaction? Approaching is dead. Might as well let the game come to you at this point. But that's what I do. I don't bother with talking to them unless they come to me, and even then, I'm still like, I have the same feeling to be honest of approaching. Yeah, it just for as much as it doesn't work, and I guess I when I sat down and thought about it, it kind of makes sense that it doesn't because if a woman comes up to a man, you can infer she has some interest in him. Whereas if a man goes up to some random broad in the mall or at a school, you have to just infer that it's going to basically just be the same. You mean the end game? The end game is accepting that there are certain things you can't change. That's my end game. You can do whatever you want. Like I stopped giving advice. I don't care anymore because people try to have debates and arguments, and I'm good. There's a whole bunch of other stuff for me to do besides talking to these people. Chronic loneliness. Well, like I said, people, if you're into wanting some female attention, you could always get an escort. Because remember what they said, you just want this for our buddies. Like I don't see what what else? What other alternative there is? Heathen's gonna try to debate me. He's gonna write like 8 comments. No right answer to that question. Some people are okay with being alone. Some aren't. Yeah, like they act like it's supposed to just hurt you every day. Like no woman, like it's cancer. I didn't say they were. I did a whole stream about that. I think what was it like almost 2 years ago. The point I was making was if you want intercourse, you can get it from a person you pay. If you want companionship, I guess you could just be friend zoned. Like there are ways to talk to chicks and not what's a good word for it? Um, have to pay them because a lot of them are just bored and they'll speak to you just because they feel like it. And I got sick of speaking. I want to see some actions. I don't need words. I need actions. I don't need speeches or remarks or sayings. We need doings. Everybody wants to sit and talk on the phone forever or just for quenching the thirst, but that's not a cup of water with the bitter aftertaste depending on how much you spend. Yeah. Well, that's why I don't bother with them. I'm just saying that if because I always hear if a man is not with the woman, then he's going to, needs female attention relating to, I guess, sexual crap. So if if you don't want to use one of those, I really don't know what else to tell you. Like that's just a cup of water. I'm not even saying I disagree with Slum Digger's position. I just don't. That's part of the reason why I don't bother with escorts anyway. So I don't care. I don't need it. Like I said, it's really not that big of a thing. Like people pretend that it is, and they try to say, "Oh my God, if he doesn't have it, he'll go crazy." It's really nothing. Like when I saw that guy keep getting cursed out over the phone by that woman when he was paying for her storage unit, with all her stuff that she doesn't even need. I just said like it's not worth putting up. Like who wants to be in a relationship with someone where all the time they just are miserable and getting cursed out and talked to like they're a piece of trash. Because look, I'm not even the guy is no friend of mine. I only know him through the chick, but I have a lot more sympathy for him than the broad because she was treating him like garbage before they had the kid. I'm just saying, I don't. I would if it were me in that position, that wouldn't be a factor. Like that wouldn't be a thing I would bother with. That person seems familiar, Dio or Dio or Dio. Yeah, very over reliant. Slum Digger says, "Where did Ruben go? He just vanished. He just disappeared like Jimmy Hoffa." Some guys really can't handle being alone. They become more and more unhinged. For them, I would prescribe an escort like a doctor prescribes medicine. Take one and call me in the morning. I think Megumi is still here. It hasn't been that long since he wrote a comment. I can operate with or with that, but well, I have needs. Well, I'm not trying to see. That's what my point is that I'm not making an attempt to pretend that people don't have things that they want and whatever. But it's just uh, there are certain factors that override my interest in wanting those things. Like I could come out and say I would like to be in a relationship, but if I've got to talk to 200 or 300 broads just to find one that wants to go on a date, I'll just say screw it because there are better uses of my time. I could say I want kids, but if a chick's gonna put me on child support and have me jailed and not want to get married, it kind of like it's just repetition or repeating the same cycle that I'm trying to avoid. So even if we want something, there's stuff that can happen if the woman doesn't make commitments slash try to keep it from happening that make it not worthy of bothering with. It's fine having needs. Hey, I get similar looking at women too, but there are principles I have that I will not compromise. Yeah, like that one chick that tried to blackmail me into paying for some wedding so that she would reap. I was like, man, you must have lost your mind. No, I'm fully cognizant of the wants and desires. I just don't think that I don't chase and plead for a woman's attention. Oh well, I'm glad because they're not worthy of doing that with or for. I can't wait to see another comment that somebody writes saying, "You don't have enough confidence." I want to hit that top 10%, and then when women are interested in me, I'm going to pull the same games they do and BS them. It also takes two in order to actually have kids. Both parties need to be committed and plan in advance for wanting children. Well, that's why it's crazy that Envoy, please. Envoy, some of us are going to live to be 100 years old, and broads are going to do the same stupid stuff they're doing now. Social media is not going anywhere. All the dumb behaviors they do are still getting rewarded by these guys. I mean, it's just, let's not try to pretend that that matters with their fragile ego and self-esteem. You have to be more careful when you know you're vulnerable. Women can detect desperation. Next thing you know, your bank account is empty and there's a baby in your arms doesn't look like you. Well, I already told the story of the one broad that gave me her number, and then the day later announced, the night after that, announced she had a boyfriend. I'm like, well, oh, why did you? And before someone wastes the world's time saying you should have said you wanted to be with her, I did. My exact words were, I am romantically interested in you," and then she gave me her number. And then a few hours later, you find out this broad's with someone. It's like, what was the point of that? Hell, the lady lacking logic was claiming that she was with someone for like the first month of us speaking, and then the guy just magically disappeared after November. Like, I wonder where he went. Or the one broad, I asked for her number, she gave me her Facebook, and then I was trying to speak to her on there, and she was like, with her little stupid voice, "I am looking for a job and trying to go to school, so I cannot talk to you." Then, whore, what was the point of giving me your number? Or your like, well, this is what I'm talking about. All these little red herrings and false flags, and I'm just tired of it. I don't need that. I want people to be direct. Feed on validation and attention. They will lead on the textbook. Nice guy, unless they're a dude who elbow chops them into the living room couch. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some Dragon Ball moves on these broads. That's what turns them on. And then Megumi wrote, "Damn, LOL." I don't know what he's laughing at. There's a lot of comedic things being written and said in the stream. Ruben really vanished. I can't believe it. He showed up, wrote some good comments, and just flew the coop. Where did Ruben go? Is he not here? Say it ain't so. I hope he writes something again. But when that may be, I just don't know when. Will he join in the conversation or leave abruptly in aggravation? Whatever. Even though they're talking about bars, man. That's just some improvision. Now Megumi never told us what he was laughing at, so we'll just have to live with the mystery. Imagine they reboot. They brought back Forensic Files. They're going to bring back Unsolved Mysteries, and they're going to have a whole segment on Megumi and what he was laughing at. No. Oh, it's funny. One of the I'm not going to say it. Let's just say somebody is involved with a show that you can't see anything and it's all audio, and I got so confused. I was like, what the hell's going on? It's not even just him. It's like they don't use the same music. They don't like it's boring. It's that same track over and over again. I think because they stick an HD camera in somebody's face, they can get the same effect. They've had maybe one episode I like, and I'm so disgusted with Heathen because he wants to say he misses the original guy and he can't remember his name. What a sick thing. I know his name, but I'm not going to tell Heathen because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want me to reveal it. I'll save you a Google search, Peter Thomas. Well, I always tell people that it's like you can look up most of this stuff on Google. Just don't remember. Well, now you do. You're welcome. Are you gonna write thank you? I'm waiting. Imagine start deleting all his comments till he says thank you. Like, where's the appreciation for my recollection? Yeah. People can't retain anything. Well, that's why I said it's really like the whole point of the documentaries on people was that I know if I say go read this, they're not going to read it. So then if I make a video, uh, it's kind of a little bit more ridiculous because it's someone reading it to you. That's why I said like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I send it to you, I don't want to read this. You read it to them. I don't want to remember this. Like, all right, damn, to hell with it. Just throw my hands up in the air and say screw it. No, I'm so just through with the chick stuff. Like I said, I'm more interested in talking about specific phrases and things that people say as opposed to new experiences with them because a lot of stuff is said that doesn't really hold water or weight. That's literally how things have gotten to, though. I like watching reruns HM because they give you updates on casing of the episodes. Pluto TV doesn't because they've been doing that for years, Heathen. At least 5 years now. Just and they do show other stuff just in the morning, and then they also show death row stories and what's the other one? Very scary people. There's a lot of stuff on there. It's not. They don't have as much of it as Forensic Files, but I don't care. They have a few other shows, not much. Yeah, they have the news segment. Remember that comes on in the morning. Like all morning, they have the news from like 3 in the morning until maybe 10 or 11. It's just news, news, news. I don't even. I don't like that because I want to see some. I want to hear about some homicides throughout the day. Oh, Sky finally showed up again. This is the man who said I was ignorant. I couldn't complete full sentences. I mean, he wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and I was so hurt. This is the original cyberbully making his grand return to use some more insulting terms that will burn. Yeah, let's do a. Oh, I can't reach it. I had a pillow over there. I was going to do a little recreation of that. No, I said that was his phone number. He put in the comment section, directed at me, call me ho. Like he was daring me, like, yeah, call. I still love how people actually think I just say 100 chicks to exaggerate. Like I just decided I'm gonna make up a high number, even though we have screenshot proof of it, even though we have all kind of accounts, archives. Like, they don't care. They really think I just went outside a couple times, like, oh, this chick didn't want to go on a date with me. I hate all of them. Oh, and then I'm gonna do a California's excrement employers 3.5 because it's basically me telling the story of how this week I heard back from one of the 30 plus, and I'm not joking. You can actually go watch that video. I applied to 31 7-Elevens. I hear back from two of them. The first one just stopped saying anything after emailing me going, hurry up, come on, come on, come on, message us, message us. And the second one called me on, I believe that was Wednesday, and I was getting something to eat. So they said, I'll call you tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon. The call never came. I can't leave a voicemail because their message box is full. I sent them another email and nothing. Telling you, it's just life. Like outside of when I do projects, life really is just like a hamster wheel. You just go, it just go never. Just all the horrible stuff continues year after year. Everything you don't want to see continues. No, that's just really annoying because you like 31 and you only hear back from two of them over a month after the fact. And then when both of them contact you, it's red herring because when you message them, they don't say anything. But nobody cares. Still gonna get blamed for that situation. I mean that's what I was talking about when I said those are the kind of things where I don't know what else I could have done for it to be any. I guess I could have lied until I wasn't eating, but they would have heard me eating. Like they called me at I think it was dinner time. It was 5 o'clock. Yeah, I called them. No, they just don't respond, Slum Digger. Like 5 hours later, they just stop responding. Oh my God, heathen. Let's recap. I have applied between December of last year and April of this year to 98 places. A very large, I would say, what, 30, 40 of those uh, are not 7-Eleven. I'm simply saying that I find it very disturbing to have applied to so many of them and only hear back from two of them. It's not about that particular place. I really would just, you probably, they were two, when you told them, what the, oh, here we go. So I'm getting blamed for that. He was too cavalier when he said he was eating. So because I said I was eating, uh, that gives them the right to schedule to speak to me the following day and then not call me when they said they would. And then when I call them, be too damn lazy to empty their inbox so I can actually leave them a voicemail. And then be too goddamn lazy to log into their Gmail account so they can get my email. That's all of that crappy behavior on their part has been validated by me saying I was eating. So I'm getting punished for telling the truth. I don't believe that was it. I think they just don't care. Gumi said, "Oh God, here it starts." Yeah, you get blamed for everything. You can't get with the woman because you are too ugly. It's like I'm not getting plastic surgery on the off chance some hoe is like, "Wow, I now see his face." You can't get a woman because you're out of shape. Yes, we all know no overweight people have ever gotten dates before. Go look, like go type in Chris Christie. That before he was governor of New Jersey, district attorney, he got his several 100-pound self married to somebody. So it didn't have to do with power. It didn't have to do with looks. Like I just, they always find a reason to blame me for something. Everything. And how's that one song go that came out like 10 years ago? Put it down on me. Oh man, Envoy disappeared too. Everybody left. It's like I'm not going to sit in there. Most couples I see are below average. Well, a lot of the chicks I see, I don't really think are that attractive, and then they still like go on social media and get a whole bunch of guys to thumb up their stuff. That's what I was saying for chicks. I don't think looks matter at all because there are so many broads. I'm just like, I'd rather not, and they'll have a guy or guys or whatever. This guy says he's playing a game. A lot of yeah, Dio. I did a whole section of one of my streams where I talked about how there was this one time I was on Facebook and I was trying to speak to some, what do you call it, some broad or whatever, some broad I knew, and I accidentally clicked on the page of this other chick who is who was overweight and she was getting it. She had like pictures of her wedding and whatnot, and the guy was so slim, and I was like, "Is this a joke?" Like, how can some man be this much leaner than this plate cleaner? Like it was preposterous. I couldn't believe it, Slum Digger. I said, "Damn, that." If you want to talk about somebody being out of someone's league, I think you got that reversed. The dating scene is dead for sure. I haven't seen JMO in forever. That's another person that vanished. Yeah, it's double standard, Sky. If I look that way and I ate a thousand pieces of pie and I'm supposed to expect some broad that's slim to get with me, man, you must be out of your mind. If I look the way she did on that picture, it would be everybody would be mocking how I look, which they already do, but they do it for stupid reasons. If you didn't wear glasses, you would have a 5% higher chance of getting with a woman. I'm like, that's right, ho. If I just take these off, suddenly all the broads are gonna orgasm, and it's gonna be like a what's that one Marvel storyline in A Brand New Day? This is a running gag on Saturday streams. Yeah, you make some food. Was talking about her boyfriend getting through to later they break up. Oh, that is funny. Dark Phoenix Saga. Well, it's just like I'm tired of being told I need to have a degree, and then like the broads don't do anything. Like every time I see a relationship that's not one that's been around for like 40 or 30 years, it's always the dude doing all the work, supporting the chick, and then the chick doesn't, she just reaps the benefits. All she got to do is look good. It's an arduous task for the average guy. Nah, Sky, my favorite thing was when that video went viral or semi-viral or whatever, where you had all these different people talking about how I look. You are ugly. Like, damn, I don't think I'm a supermodel, but Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? You think all the broads that get with someone just look so stunning and fantastic? And I mean, come on, man. But like I said, it's never about the issue itself. It's they try to focus on that one guy to explain away stuff. It's kind of like if what's a good example? Why would you want to entertain a female and hope she stays faithful? Too much work. It's always man. Expect to do everything. Call me lazy, but I don't care. No, I don't call you lazy. I agree. It's like it's there was this one person that admitted it's the guy does 90% of the work, the chick does 10% or even lower. He's got a house or he's got a feed or he's got and then all she does is just put on some clothes or take off her clothes on some nights. No, it's really ridiculous. Like I said, I wish people would actually look at the problem versus the person because you can get mad at me all you want, but the fact that there are a whole bunch of other guys online saying the same thing about how hard it is to get a chick should kind of show that it's not just me who's so ugly and so poor and all this other crap that people have concocted as the reason. I want a peaceful and simple life. You will not get that with 99.9% of chicks. There's a reason why very few married couples can say they are legitimately happy with each other. Well, from what I've seen, a lot of modern chicks don't even want to get married. They just want to screw, and then if they have a kid, they pop it out, and then they put the guy in jail for not paying child support, even though he never said he wanted the damn kid in the first place. But then when they have a man who says he wants that, wants to get married, they ignore him. Just look around you. Who does the blue collar jobs, the most dangerous jobs? Who puts in more hours of workplace? That's your answer. Like I said, the only person who's ever going to be able to live off of me that is not married to me is maybe like my little brother or something, because that's a kid. But as far as taking care of some grown broad, no. Just because you can open your legs doesn't mean you're gonna be able to make me open my wallet. And that's the other thing that gets me. They act like the reason I don't take sex that seriously as something that some chick offers because there's so many chicks and it just they can all do it. So it's like I don't understand what how that makes them any more special or important than one or the other. Well, traditional marriage is dead, but I don't want that either. Okay, Sky, I wasn't saying that you wanted it. I'm just saying that what my observation was. You don't have to, I guess, come to the same conclusion or have the same goals. It's fine. This isn't the communist channel. We're not trying to make everyone think the same. It's cool. They want to divorce, not marry. Yeah, people always have a problem with someone over something. Sex is easy to get. Escorts are thing. You pay one way or another if you think about it. Well, Sky, that was why I said I did the stream about how prostitutes were better than girlfriends, because up front you're gonna have to pay to get with them, whereas with the chick that uh, tries to pretend like she's your friend and then you start dating them, you're gonna end up doing the same thing regardless because none of these chicks want to take care of themselves. Like even if I was with someone, I wouldn't expect the broad to pay for my car or pay for you get what I'm saying. It's always the guy's fault to do every damn thing. I'm really sick of it. If you if you work and she stays home, she will grow to resent you, eventually cheat or go AWOL. If you both go to work, then your apartment is broken by design. Yeah, Megumi, that's what people do. They don't really care to actually hear someone out. They just want to blow a gasket. But I still agree with the points that I made in that stream that I'd rather know up front someone's gonna take my coins than have some broad pretend like she's trying to get to know me and in love and all that trash. Well, yeah, but one of the reasons they're common is because all these chicks, like I was saying, another thing in the video is how do you know that the chicks that are not escorts haven't screwed a bunch of guys? You don't. Oh, okay. Then let me see what all was written. Somebody was calling me over some concerns. Okay, Megumi wrote, and the thing is, they can still just flat reject you in having sex even after you waited patiently. I mean, they do that with relationships in general, like with the lady lacking logic. I purposely let that broad talk to me for almost a year because I wanted to see what one of those chicks would do if you gave them a long term correspondence. And she still played the same stupid game. Well, I thought we were becoming friends. And people are like, you shouldn't talk to a woman for that long. But that's not the point. Well, no, it's not a year of wasted time because I still did other stuff. I just told her I'm not gonna have if I'm not good enough to go on one date, I'm not good enough to have 100 phone calls with. That's over. I hate when people say you wasted your time or was like, dude, I did other things that whole year. Okay, what does economically attractive mean? I thought it was all about personality, love, feelings. Oh no, it's you have to give them a bunch of coins too. And I did hit mute. Oh god, it was so hot earlier, and I just was so happy to get back home because outside that sun was beaming down, and then this car that I was in didn't have an air conditioner. It was awful. No, but I'm just saying, Sky, that That was a social experiment. I have never done it with any other chick. I just said, all right, well, I'm not going to bother approaching them. We'll see what happens. It was the exact same thing. More friend zoning. Everybody wants to be a goddamn friend. Hey, you want to be a friend? Go on a date with me. That's what you should tell the next heifer who says we're friends. That's gonna be my next line of dialogue. A lot of women like financially well-off men more so than love feelings. Well, that's why I said that they're scammers. Like if they just came out and said, "I just want what's in your pocket. To hell with you if you don't have it," I'd have a lot more respect for them because they're honest. But they try to trick you with all this stuff about, I don't feel a connection with you, and I think you just want me for my body and all this trash. So that's what got me to just say screw it. That's why when you had people on here talking about Justin's doing a war against women, it's not Justin versus women, it's lies versus people. Because you have chicks who are older that admit that a lot of the contemporary broads do this stuff on social media. So it's not Justin versus chicks, it's lies versus people. She doesn't feel the connection with you, but she'll feel it with one of those two. Well, you know damn well only thing difference between me and them is they have coins and fame, and that's it. Mm. Remember, Envoy, you remember that one video where I said dating is based on fraud? All they try to do is get something out of you. They don't actually care about you. Well, that's my thing, Dio. I said before, and I'm thinking of doing a video called "Why I Don't Want Female Friends." Unless the broad is married or we're doing some project together, I don't want to talk to you because like I'm good. I don't, it's like some other man gets to be in a relationship, and I gotta just sit here and be okay with being sidelined for you to get horny with this dude. What the hell? That's why I said that when people call me selfish, I think the chicks are selfish because a lot of them, if they're single, could say, "All right, well, to give you what you want and to get what I want, I'll go on a date. But if I don't like it, I get to end it, and we have to still speak to each other." See, because then you would at least get something for talking to them for some prolonged period, even if you really didn't feel like it after all. Because I've said before, and people know this, that one date is really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Like it's just a 1 day outing that's like an hour or two long. These bastards act like you're asking to marry them. I see being selective with that because I'm picky too. I'm like, oh, you're not taking my stuff. You better sign that prenuptial agreement. Forget the friend zone. Forget. I really do think I'm gonna make that video. Why I don't want female friends. They serve no purpose. You just saw what happened with the dingbat from yesterday's video where she was like, I want to just be friends, and then 2 weeks later, our friendship is hurting you, and then admitted that she ignored my messages so I would leave her alone. But that's your friend. I didn't call her my friend. She called me her friend. That's how you treat your friend. Man, go to hell. Well, females want traditional man, but they don't want to adhere to their traditional role. This is the mentality of most women now. Yeah, the guy has to do all the stuff that men have been doing for decades. But he also has to acquiesce at their pet. Look how crazy it is. You got to pay for all of their crap, but then they run everything. They get to determine if you get like, that's weird. I mean, I want you to kind of picture this. Let's say you're Sky, for example, and Sky is with some woman that pays the rent and I don't know, makes the food and all that. So if she wants to do something with the house, because she pays for everything, Sky's probably going to adhere to what she wants. But he's not adhering to it because he's susceptible to vaginas. He's recognizing that that person is doing the most work, financially. So she gets to run it. But in the case of us, you pay all this stuff, and then you still have to hope that they're that they're going to let you be able to make any decisions. Talk too little, you're boring. Talk too much, you're self-obsessed. Oh, that's their favorite. That's the best thing that people love to say. You're probably dry. You don't have a personality. You don't have charisma. You're not funny. And then you go on the phone with one of these broads and they're laughing like they got a behind the scenes access pass to, I don't know, Comedy Central on Hulu. Like, what kind of Twilight Zone crap is that? You're making this broad laugh over and over, but you must be boring. That's why they don't want to talk to you. It's like they do want to talk, they just don't want to go on a date. That's why I said to hell with them. No, that's crazy. I'm glad we're talking about this topic. It's been too long. I would say not really because we I did speak about there was another live show I did recently that was mostly about the romance stuff. Mm. So many interruptions. We get called. Somebody wants to play a video game right next to me. Another person wants to come in. Just I mean, issues that women have high standards, but they often don't reflect the standards they demand, such as, well, yeah, that's what okay, that was the point I was making earlier. That when they say they're out of your league, a chick that owns, like, think of how crazy this is. Let's say I had a Lamborghini, I had a mansion, um, what's another extreme? And I was the CEO of some company. You will have idiots that will say, this woman is out of your league just because of the way she looks. She could live in a box and she'd be above my league. What the hell is that? And that's what I was saying about how crazy it is because you could have a broad who's overweight, which I am not, who has a degree, which I don't, and is a CEO and I'm not. And people, no one would say that I'm above her league because of the way I look. Even if they thought she was ugly, they would objectively say she has more than you. So she if anything, she's above your league. And that would at least make sense because you get that it's coming from the positions, the things that she's actually acquired, not just the way she looks makes her superior to you, like you're a human and she's a Saiyan or something. Oh, Jimmy finally returned. This is the return stream. All kind of people just show up after disappearing. And I like how he returned to spell my name wrong. That's very flattering. I thought I had a simple name. I guess I have to get another one. I'm gonna just like cut it in half. No, it's crazy how many chicks will get made out to be like goddesses just off of the way they look. Raw lives in the in a tent, but she's better than you because look at man, look at her breasts. Well, that's why I said that the way the chicks look, I mean, they get away with everything, and people they acquiesce to them. Next evolution of humans should have all of us just be great with no distinct features, no face judgments. Like I said, I'm fine with my appearance. I don't. That's why when they were writing all that stupid stuff, I didn't. I never like, oh, you VVS doesn't show his face, but you do. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not ashamed of my appearance. I don't blame him. I don't like who wants to come on here and try to have a serious discussion about the stupid stuff the other gender does, and then all people can write is you are ugly. How tall are you? And all this trash. How tall are you? Taller than most bastards in the U.S. There's your answer. Princesses for what? Having a vagina? Like billions of other people that have lived before and will come. That makes somebody a great wanted figure. Like I said, I'm just tired of the lies. That's why I said this isn't my gender war. It's lies versus people. People say one thing and then it gets dismissed here. No, I don't. Not here. That's why when that guy was talking about if a woman was being attacked, you are a punk if you don't step in. It's like, dude, if you think I'm gonna step in for a random broad that I don't even know whether she started it or not, you need your head examined. Just like they had a case of this one chick that got stabbed by her boyfriend. That I think it was she was working at Walmart. He just came in there and stabbed her, and her mom sued the company after she died. It was like, oh, they didn't protect her. I'm like, what were the other workers supposed to do? Get stabbed up too? That was me, and I'm working in some big Hulk character comes up to some chick that I mean, she was involved with him willingly, romantically, and starts stabbing her. No offense, but I'm gonna run out of there. I'm not trying to die. Like, I don't see what's wrong with self-preservation. Who wants to die for just because some to defend someone just because they're a chick? Like, I don't get that. Good. I'm glad. I'm looking at what Sky wrote. I'm glad. You need to get laid. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to make my life better. Laying down with some random broad. Like I said, sex is a really overrated thing, and you can get the same stimulation without having to go through the months of back and forth. And people were like, "Oh, but it doesn't have the same connection." Like the chicks don't want it to. That's why they stop talking to you or friends on you. Yeah, that triangle. There are stories where men helped women and the guy who helped got beat up or arrested. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no benefit to getting involved with any of that. Well, I'm afraid of dying for defending someone that I have no reason to lay down my life for. I'm sorry. It's just reality. They will try to sell you the same projections. Your life will change, and all that jazz. Yeah, but even if it did, as far as like having that stuff making a difference, you're still gonna have to put up with all the other issues that are going on. Yeah. Well, Dio, I wasn't saying that they're. Repeating what the detractors of mine like to claim. All this stuff about how you need to work on yourself and develop these relationships and all this stuff is stupid. Because remember, you can't complain about talking to some chick for any period of time without being called entitled. You think a woman you spoke to is supposed to give you sex just because you talked to her for 10 months? Like, no, but if she was single and she wants to speak to me so damn badly, which is why when I blocked her everywhere, she tried to contact me by my email. Surely she wouldn't have a problem going on one date, right? I would hope not. But again, you can't complain about that stuff without, being attacked for it. Like people really can't get where a man would be frustrated by something like that. They don't comprehend. It's like, huh? You are entitled. I don't want to work harder or like a slave, and that's what you will do if you get married. Whatever. Again, this isn't the I hate marriage stream, so I'm not playing that game because there's a whole bunch of dudes that aren't married that are in jail by some broad that had their kid and put them in prison. Yeah, I'm not one of them. I don't like work on yourself just quickly because I might do a video on it. It's just a nebulous term that means nothing. That it's like a goalpost that just keeps expanding over and over. It's like, yeah, it's good to, I guess, improve yourself. But if you're doing that because on the off chance that it might get you abroad, I just don't see the benefit of it. Like you have to actually want to do that for yourself, not because someone tells you some chick is just going to magically love you after the fact. So I said it's just all stupid stuff people write on here. I ignore them. So I don't watch any of their videos. I already said if a woman wants to get with the guy, she'll get with the guy. All this little uh, positioning and hamster wheel stuff doesn't happen when that's the case. I want to get in shape, get my own place, get good on the guitar. Couldn't care less. Yeah, pretty much. If you do it for yourself, it's different from doing it for some random chick. You can work on yourself all you want. If a woman says no, then you not doing anything with her, no matter your confidence or looks. Then why does it matter? Are you gonna date him? Damn. Oh my god. What's your height and size? Give me your statistics. Like this is one of those one of those websites for the NBA. So here's his height, his weight, his total points this season. We should want to be healthy. Don't go to the gym for women. Don't do it. Yeah, I don't know what all this. So I said, all doing any of that stuff for a chick is it's a recipe for disaster because it doesn't guarantee you abroad. And if you don't want to actually do it for you, then there's no I do my show because I like the story, not because I think it's going to get me laid. Or I do the documentaries because I want to tell those stories in a audio based chronological manner. I don't do it because I think, oh, one day a woman will see this and go, oh, I really like the way you talked about World War II. Can I get inside of you or some? It's just you know what I'm saying? It's just them being dumb. I've dated made it adamant that they wanted to date me to an aggressive point. Yeah, that's why I said if the chick is interested, she'll do something back. It's not all this friend zoning and all. I'm good. Anyways, I'm gonna get off of here because I'm tired. Uh, I'm gonna try to put out this part one documentary this week. Maybe it'll come out next week. I don't know. I got a little more of the script to write. So thank you for checking this out. Have a good day. And remember, it's not Justin versus women. It's lies versus people. It's lies versus people.